Star Dynasties is a procedural narrative strategy game. It's set in a regressive future after the destruction of Earth. It mixes this lightweight empire management strategy layer with an emergent narrative of human drama and feudal politics. In the 22nd century, humanity has started colonizing the galaxy. We've built mining installations, we've built shipyards outside of our solar system, refueling stations for further exploration, so we're just starting to colonize space. Then disaster strikes, and Earth is destroyed, and all these colonies are trying to survive without the lifeline of resources from Earth. There's a period of lawlessness and war. They're trying to survive. Their biggest enemy turns out to be each other. All political, economic, and technological progress is effectively lost. It's a few hundred years later, and the survivors have stabilized in a kind of simple feudal society. The core of the game is its characters. Star Dynasties procedurally generates hundreds of characters, the nobility of this universe. And characters are grouped into political houses. The houses carved up the colonies between them. And the more powerful houses dominate the other houses on their colonies. Some of the most powerful houses dominate the colonies around them as well. Those are the leading houses that form factions in regions of space. And you as the player are the leader of one of these factions. Some leaders are so powerful that they group together multiple factions under their dominion to form leagues. Star Dynasties is a turn-based strategy game. Each turn is 6 months of real time. You've got action points, because that represents the fact that you're one character and you've got limited time and attention that you can spend within those 6 months. In your turn, you've got a variety of personal and political actions that you can take, and then after you take those actions, the hundreds of characters that make up the rest of the game, they take their turn. And you get to see the important slice of that. That's what generates the emergent narrative of the story, of your story. The core of Star Dynasties is its character simulation. Characters are modeled in quite a lot of detail. They've got personality, they've got emotions, opinions, they empathize with each other. So most of the game is about managing the characters, either in your political house directly or managing your political relationship with them. They've got their own agendas, they're trying to achieve their own aims. A character in your house might ask for a promotion, and if you refuse that, that could come back to haunt you. They might discover something that you'd rather keep hidden and blackmail you to keep it hidden. Or a ruler in your faction, they could come to you asking you for justice against what some other ruler has done to them, and you're gonna have a challenge in your hand. What do you do to keep the peace? Maybe you actually do prefer the relationship you've got with the other ruler. So these are the kind of decisions that you'll be making as a player. You start the game as the leader of a faction. You're going to be focused on making sure that you've got a stable future for your dynasty. Your heirs and children, they're married off. You might look around you to see whether you can start acquiring some territory and to make sure that your relationships with your neighbors are solid. You'll grow old, and at some point you'll die. Maybe through old age, maybe through foul play. And your heir will take over your empire. As the player, you'll take over as the heir of that empire. But it's not necessarily going to be a smooth transition. You'll keep your empire, but your new heir is going to have to build their own relationship with these characters, with their vassals, with their peers around them. But also, they could just not be a very nice person. And now you've got a different set of challenges that you have to tackle as this new character. I've been a lifelong player of strategy games, particularly empire management strategy games like Civilization. But there's something a little bit unrealistic about those games, because if you think of kings and queens of the past, their concerns would have been a lot more personal. How many kings have been brought low because of the love of a woman or because of some indiscretion in their lives? So the experience of being a king and queen would not have focused primarily on resource management or troop movement across a map. Most of their daily life would have been about the relationships they had with the key power brokers of their kingdom or empire. And that's what I'm trying to capture in Star Dynasties. Star Dynasties will appeal to players of empire management strategy games, but it's also going to appeal to players who like narratives of human drama and feudal politics, like the soap opera of kings and queens of Game of Thrones.